listing in the first place. So we listed on the TSXV just before Christmas. So that was a whole lot of work. There was an RTO through a CPC off the back of a 6 million private placement. And that really got us started. We listed at 42 cents. We're trading somewhere north of $1 at the moment. We've just closed another private placement of 17.8 million last week. Yep. And we've got a war chest. We're cashed up, and we're looking to see what ways we can make in the esports betting and global gambling landscape.
Sure. So what is your ambition in the global gambling landscape?
Sure. So for now, we're focused on becoming the #1 esports betting destination. So you want to place a bet on esports, with esports being professional computer games, then Luckbox, our customer-facing brand, is the place to come. We're live in about 80 countries around the world. Accepting bets. We also accept bets. One of the catalysts you asked about, to help that growth, was we went live with almost every traditional sport that you can bet on as well. So I think it's about 105 sports that you can bet on our site, in pre-match and in play. And we're gearing up for additional licenses, potentially looking to add traditional casino as well, which is an additional revenue generating vertical in the coming months. So everything is go.
Wow, that's fantastic. What kind of revenue do you currently make from esports betting?
So our last reported financials were Q3 last year. It's pretty low. I mean, we were talking sub $1 million at that point. We also spent less than $100,000 in user acquisition at that point. It was pure organic growth. With the money that we've just raised, we're looking at two kind of growth catalysts, I guess. One is organic expansion, so scaling our existing business through investing a few million in user acquisition, by growing our internal marketing team with the addition of our chief customer officer, Thomas Rasander, who's an industry heavyweight from both the gambling and gaming spheres. And secondly, we're starting to put together some deal flow roadmap to see how we can capitalize being only the third publicly traded esports betting company globally.
Yeah, that's fantastic. What is the entire market size that you are addressing?
Sure. So in 2019, because we haven't got 2020 figures yet, it was estimated to be about $1 billion to $1.25 billion in revenue generated from esports betting. If you contrast to the esports industry itself, which did about 1.5 billion, you can see that it's the single largest revenue stream within this incredibly fast-growing industry of the future, if you will. And then coupled alongside that, we're fully licensed globally to also do casino and traditional sports, with traditional sports being north of 150, I think it's approximately 150 billion in revenue globally. So a little slice of that pie would do as well.
Sure. In the context of forward-looking statements, at what rate do you anticipate growing your revenue Q on Q and year on year in the next 2-3?
So we're not releasing forward-facing statements just yet. That said, we're coming from a position, we're early in our days of growth, so I would expect kind of strong and steady growth going forward.
You bet. What is your gross margin on the money you've made so far?
So what I'll report is that what our gambling margin, which is 5%, so that's not operating margin, that's just the percentage per user bet that we take in revenue. We were not reporting operating margin just yet.